Great day, great day. It is a glorious day, and I am Dr. Marrian Sista Efua, and this is your motivation for marrying. Listen, they are lying. They are simply lying. They are lying. Well, Marion, who are the they? We're going to get into that a little bit in a couple of seconds. Just want to remind everybody, thank you for being here. If you have been missing me, I've been missing you too, but we are back on track. And so I'm coming live today because I want to talk about something that is becoming like a trend. I've noticed, especially in the spiritual and healers community, right? Those of us that are healers, people are kind of saying this to message, and people who are coming into their awareness of their personal power and spiritual alignment are starting to say stuff like, I'm an empath. I'm a healer. I got a healing spirit. That's why people always come to me and they so toxic. And I keep having this cycle. But I want to introduce a new concept to you today about that reality that it is not because you are a healer that people are coming to you with toxicity and you're having these relations. They are lying to you. I'm going to tell you what it is that as a healer, as a person who has the ability to transmute energies, mindsets, physical ailments, all of these things, yes, we are going to be drawn. People will be drawn to us because of the ability, right? Of the alchemic and transformative ability, spiritual ability, whatever you want to say it is. But here's the thing. When you say it's because, be very careful, because that might be that emotional boogeyman or that memory monster that is attempting to sabotage your growth and expansion, to keep you in a place of lack, a place of less, where you are unable to fully manifest and have who and what you really are as you were divinely placed here to present and be. So let me slow it down and break it down. And what I mean by that, when you allow the lie to permeate through your system, telling you that you're supposed to suffer, you're supposed to sacrifice, you're supposed to have some level of abuse and disrespect as a normal process in this journey, you've already negated your gift. You've already negated your wisdom. You've already negated your position and your alignment. I know some people don't want to hear this, but this is where I'm coming from. Right? The emotional boogeyman that we created that kept us safe, that kept us harnessing energy, that kept us sharing. Oh, look at this beautiful sunrise. It is turning the sky red. It is gorgeous outside my window. Y'all know I love sunrises and sunsets. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's like when they're kissing each other. I feel like the sun and the moon are kissing themselves and going on to their separate ways. But they're lying. They're lying when they tell you that that's what you have to experience: sacrifice, pain, hurt, anger, doubt, frustration, abuse, disrespect, disregard, rejection. That is not a requirement for you to be a server and provide your gift to other people, to provide your knowledge, your skills, your wisdom, your sageness to other people. That is not a requirement. So yes, you will have people drawn onto you that will be in need of your support, but it will never be at a level that you are put at a disadvantage, because that means you've forgotten that if you have this enlightenment, if you've been gifted, if you have the sageness, then you're able to see the big picture and you know what your particular role is. So if this person has a challenge, a condition, a mindset, a health concern, right? You're going to know what your particular role is in addressing these person's multiple challenges that they're having. You're not supposed to get down there and wallow. I'm going to tell you, one of the biggest eye openers I had was one time I was listening to Reverend Michael Beckwith, and he said, you're up here, and I'm going to talk about this a little later in detail. Listen, he basically said, when you're up top and you're flying high, you can't jump down into the dungeons with people and then expect to be able to pull them back out. And then he began to make me think about some things I've seen in real life. When they send the Flight for Life helicopter and people are trapped in the water or they're trapped in the river, they don't send a person down to jump in the water with them. They send down a rope. They send down a ladder. They send down a stretcher. Because if the person in the helicopter leaves and goes down into the water and he or she also gets trapped, how does that benefit? So they're lying. They're lying when they telling you that. They're trying to prevent you from fully embracing who you are and your abilities as an alchemist, as a healer, as a mindset transformer. So no, don't be a victim. How do we teach people not to be victimized or to take on victimhood, but we ourselves are taking it on? As if our gift, as if our abilities, as if our sageness is something that can be disregarded or is minimized by conditions, circumstances, and experiences. The answer is no. The answer is no. No, ma'am, no, sir. I just learned that from a little movie. Somebody was with somebody's like, no, ma'am, no, sir. So I'm borrowing that because I like it. So I'm inviting you to consider, what is the lie that your own emotional boogie monster and mental memory monster is selling you and whispering in your ear as you are serving and supporting other people, as you are honoring your gifts, your sageness, your wisdom, your skills, your talents? What messages are you subconsciously being fed behind the scenes that allows you to believe that sacrifice, abuse, disregard, dishonor, injury is a requirement for you to show that you are truly one of the people that are given this great honor to do? That's what I meant when I say they're lying. Those monsters, that boogeyman is lying to you. See, these are monsters and boogeymans that we created to survive as young people in our life. And the moments when we felt we were different, too different maybe, at the moment when we felt not wanted, at the moment we felt not quite loved. So we created these identities like, oh, I'm different. I'm the black sheep. Oh, it's because I'm the middle child. Oh, it's because I'm the baby. It's because I'm the oldest. It's because my dad is different from their dad. It's because my mother's different from their mother. It's because I grew up in the 70s or the 60s or the 50s or the 80s or the 90s, right? Because. And so we created this safety net of this false sense of reality. And so these emotional boogeymen were brought up. So when situations and conditions created themselves, we begin to exist in that false reality. So the boogeyman says, oh, the reason you didn't get the part, the reason why you didn't get the job, the reason why that person didn't ask you out, the reason why they didn't accept your offer is because something's wrong with you. Not that the system is flawed, not that people have a preference that is not your control, not that this is not the time for you to experience that possibly, and there's another opportunity coming. See, that would be your sage that would say stuff like that. That would be the true healer that's innately within you. Your sacred soul script talks to you in that language. But the emotional boogeyman and the memory monster is going to remember the last time you did that? It didn't work. You remember that time when such and such did it and that happened to them? So you don't want to wind up like them. Great day and welcome, everybody. I appreciate you being here. But so they're lying. They're presenting you with a script, with a narrative that has nothing to do with you. And I talk about that in Seek and Escape, right? How it's like we're playing this role that someone else created, because passively all the time we're receiving information and we're observing, and subconsciously it's planting in our memories and in our mental scopes of our mind, right? And our emotions are being tied to these observations and these hearings and these experiences. And so as a child, we're creating these realities. But when we become an adult, it shows up like procrastination, sacrificial lamb syndrome, victimology. It shows up procrastination. It shows up delayed gratification. Whatever term you need to address for you. And I can go on and on and on and on. And if you're in my subscription club, or if you're in my community at some point, you've heard me, or if you heard me speak, you hear me talk about it. Or if you bought the book, right? You know the things that I talk about. This is a quick early morning message that I just wanted to get out because I saw something in 3 places this week that said something like, oh, because I'm an empathic, things are always happening to me. Do you know what the ability to be an empath means? All of us are empaths. We just haven't clicked into it to the fullest level. All of us are clairaudient. We just haven't learned how to use discernment to truly understand what's really the sage or the healer, the harmonizer inside of us versus, like I said, those monsters or boogeyman. All of us are healers, but we haven't found the harmonic alignment yet in order to allow it to be. It is so imperative that you be careful how you speak over your life, just like we teach our clients, just like we teach our community members. It is so important. It is so important. It is so important that we be mindful, that we don't victimize ourselves because of the beautiful, magnanimous, ever unfolding gifts and relationships that we have with our higher selves. Because just because we're gifted, just because we have wisdom, just because we have harmonic sageness, just because we have experience does not negate us from being able to still have those boogeymen and monsters from our past that are in our subconscious mind that creep up every now and then. Yeah. So you have to decide today, how are you going to handle the next person? Because as this person that they're coming to for transformation, for healing, for expansion, for evolution, for wisdom, how are you going to remind yourself to go up and look around and see what your particular role is in that situation? Maybe your portion is only this much, and that's okay. That's okay. We cannot be everything to everyone. That's how you get burnout. That's how we pick up sicknesses, right? So don't take this on. Don't get it twisted. That's the manipulation of the subconscious monsters and boogeymen that we're holding on to, that we have yet to release, because we're ever evolving. Because as you know, through this process of transformation, through this process of alchemy, what did we tell you? There are 7 stages to the 3 phases of alchemic transformation. So if you complete phases 1 and 2 and you think you're done and you going out here and you doing things and you're and then you find yourself in collapse, what does it say? So we must honor ourselves. We must believe in ourselves. We must trust ourselves, because they are lying. They're lying when they tell you that you have to have sacrifice. They're lying when they tell you that you need to be broken down. They're lying when they tell you should deplete all your resources. They're lying when they tell you that you should just keep on forgiving, keep forgiving. Let me talk about that. Okay. Forgiveness does not mean that you have to keep entertaining the thing, the experience, or the person that you forgave. I'm going to say it again. Just because you extend forgiveness does not mean you are to continue to engage with the person, the place, the event, or the experience that caused you to have forgiveness. That's another error that I'm finding, that those of us that are practitioners and healers and teachers, and we're finding ourselves being bombarded with the burdens that are not supposed to be our burdens. So when you are supporting others, make sure you are clear on what your role is in that moment. Those in my community like, what? She just talked about roles. Absolutely, positively. You'll get trapped. You'll get boxed in. And no one can define how you are to express your gift, your talent, your sharing of wisdom, of healing. No one. That's right, sis. In that moment, what is your role? Maybe your role is to observe. Maybe your role is to listen. Maybe your role is to guide and direct so far, and then you do the relay race and tag it off and let someone else pick it up. That's why you need community when you're out here doing what you're doing. And you can't do it from a place of lack, and you can't do it from a place of fear. You cannot do it from a place of what's the thing? You're just kind of going back and forth, shape shifting over and over again, adjusting, 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 adjusting. Huh? At some point, you have to understand that your assignment is bigger than the person assigned to you in that moment. You have a whole lifetime of assignments. Most of us don't catch on that it's our assignment until we're in our late 20s, because we've been grafted into this role, into these relationships, into this process of belonging. And as I said, we created this thing to survive. How do we make sure that we feel loved? How do we make sure they see that we're necessary? How do they keep ourselves relevant? How do we, and then we take it out of our family structure and we place it into our friendships. We place it into our relationships. We place it into our employment. We place it, all of that. And then we wonder why we burden down, why we can't get ahead. What is a challenge? What's going on? Yeah. They are lying. So, Marrian, what do? You don't tell me the problem. So what do we do? Well, what do we do is it begins and ends with you. Because everything you need is already in your sacred soul script. So if you have accepted and you are fully ready to allow yourself to experience and express that which you are, then that means that you must now hunker down and start allowing that script to reveal itself to you. That means you create your daily practice, and outside of your daily practice, you also put it into action, right? You put yourself in community. You know, one of the things I like about counseling, they tell you to have people that, you can go and share case studies with other people, like, hey, I had this in case study number 2734, this is a couple or this is a person and you can talk it through and you can release some things and you can get some new perspectives. Community or a pod is designed for you to have a safe place to be vulnerable, to release and allow yourself to be you as a vessel that has been gifted in such a way. So you need community, you need introspection, right? Beyond that agreement that says you're going to accept and allow yourself to be who you are. And then you're going to make another agreement with yourself that says you're not going to allow yourself to be victimized or boxed in based upon someone else's expectation of what they feel or believe you should do, be, and say. I tell people all the time, they say, oh, we just love you. Oh, we just love you. I say, yeah, but if you work with me one-to-one, this might be a bit much for you. Because I'm real gentle, but I'm also giving you a little bit of tough love. Yeah. So you honor yourself, honor your gift, do the introspection, commit to it, make the agreement, make the decision that you are going to become more of the big picture awareness of what needs to be addressed so that you can do the section that was assigned to you. It's kind of like a group project. Oh, but they say they should love you because you're being loved. If you're truly walking in what you say you are being loved. So by being loved, you're going to be attracted. What did Janet say? Like a moth to a flame. People are going to come to you like a moth to a flame. It's undeniable. But I'm real. Don't be telling on me, Denise. I just read that quote. I'm sorry I had to start reading what I put up, right? But that's what it's about, right? As an alchemist, you're supposed to take something, and it's transformation. One thing into a new. You strip it down, You distill it, you process it, and you get into a new thing. But you can't do that if you in the process with him. If you're being burnt up and distilled, you going through all the same, it's gonna mess up. Who's observing? Who's doing the process? No, you are not a victim of your gift. You get all the rewards and benefits of them. Okay? And don't let people guilt you into that. Family and friends. We talking life today because that's what we are. We're life. We're life. We are not death. We are not drudgery. We are not clandestine. Ooh, no, we're not. So let's begin this day. So I'm done. I've said my piece. I appreciate those of you that tuned in on today. Again, I am Dr. Marrian Sista Efua of the Azon Life Alchemy Center. We support people in being able to unlock their alchemic code by accessing their sacred soul script and living a life that is expansive and exponential existence. That's what we do here. That's what we do here. And if you want to know more, please follow me. Join my website at exponentialexistence.com. You can also follow me on all social media outlets. All I'm asking you to do is consider some of the things that I've shared with you on today. That emotional boogeyman that you created as a child in order to survive your environment. Right. Can I just say this too? So here's how it shows up, how that also shows up as an adult, right? Oh, should I charge for my services? Should I charge for my services? Do I tell them that I know this? I think I got this process mastered on how people can support themselves and improving their lives, but do I tell them? Am I going to be rejected? Or do you downplay your contribution? Do you procrastinate? Do you hesitate? Yeah, that's all related. That's all related. It's all related. You hold on to relationships that you know are not rewarding and reciprocating because it's been a certain amount of time, or people expect you to stay there, or they tell you, they guilt you, and they try to, again, define you and tell you, oh, well, if you are really spiritual, if you're really a healer, if you're really a teacher, if you really are this, if you really are that, then if you've really grown and evolved, then you wouldn't behave and say sure you would. Because you have to have boundaries. And like Reverend Michael said, if you up on the all-seeing wall, you the helicopter coming to help somebody, you're not going to jump in the rushing water with them and drown too. You're going to send something down to support them. They throw you a life jacket when you fall off the boat. They don't jump in the water with you. They throw you a life jacket. And they say, if you want to live, you go there it is right there. Valerie, high five me. Valerie, high five me. Listen, they throw you a life jacket first. Ooh, wait. They throw you a life jacket first to see how much you want to live. And then once they see you grab a hold to that life jacket and climb up on it or put it over you, then they say, reel them in. And when you get tired, they say, okay, good. We see they done calm down. They're going to let us do what we got to do. And then they jump in and they get you. Come on, y'all. Y'all ain't listening to me. I'm trying to tell you. These uploads, right? It's always around you. Huh? I'm trying to tell y'all something because it's working with me too. It's working with me too. Getting ready for the next. Everybody cannot. How's somebody going to tell you? They come to you for help, but they're going to tell you how to help them. That's why you need to be in your awareness of who you are, what your assignment is, what your original assignment is, how you're supposed to express it. Allow yourself to accept it and allow it to be expressed. and be able to discern. Discern means you're realizing there's something that has to be done, but there's a solution and you're open to finding that solution. You're not trying to judge and say, oh, I got to be the one. It's gotta be me. I gotta be the A. No. Sometimes you gotta sit back and say, okay, all I can do is tell them it's gonna be okay and move on. Because the one coming behind you is gonna tell them, yep, it's gonna be okay. But you gotta reach for that life jacket. I'm gonna throw you this life jacket, a lifesaver. Then the next one comes along and say, okay, good. Now you done wrestling and fighting with the lifesaver. Now let me pull you in. It's okay. It's okay, y'all. This has been a moment with Marrian. I'm trying to tell y'all this morning. We're gonna keep this as a moment, the motivation with Marrian moment, because there's a lot. There's a lot to unpack. If those of you that, again, if you like what you hear and you seeing, I'm telling you, this is just me all day, every day. This is what I do. This is how I talk. I done call like 5-6 people. I might call you. If I got your number sometime, I might call you and tell you some stuff. But I'm really committed to ensuring that we not victimize ourselves with the very thing we feel is a reward or a gift. How do you resent a gift? How do you deny the power? Don't get me started. Don't get me started, y'all. It's a wonderful day. It's a great day, everybody. It's a great day. Remember that. It's always a great day. Always a new beginning. Every breath is a new beginning. Every breath is a new beginning. Whatever happened in the previous moment is not your business. What you going to do in this moment? What are you going to do in this moment? So those of you that are out here supporting and helping people, please remember that. Right? You know, they used to say, the old folks used to say, you can take a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink. Yeah. So with that, y'all have a continued great day. It's an awesome motivational Monday. I am sharing out with you. Oh, I have a retreat. The women's retreat is in July 14th through the 17th in Sedona, Arizona. Right? In Sedona, Arizona. And then we're going to be taking a retreat I've been asked to come to Ghana, West Africa, and do a retreat. I still have space over there. I think it's 5 seats over there that I have available left out of the 15 in Ghana. I have 5 seats left for that March 5th to the 12th in Ghana. And then in October, we're going to be doing the southern region of Africa. We're going to be doing a retreat, and then we're going to tour the southern region of Africa, South Africa. Of Southern Africa, excuse me. All right, because South Africa is different it's not all of South Africa, it's not all the southern region. There's like 8 different countries, right? I know because I went to them. All right. So with that being said, thank you for being here. If you haven't liked, subscribed, and shared, please do so. And we'll see y'all again next time. Continued peace and blessings. That's who you are.